There was a place, and still there is nowadays, in which all the religions used to live together at peace. Hindu, Muslim, Jain, Buddhist. There was a place where yogi used to live in ancient sea caves, and scholars gathered here for studying together. This place today is in Punjab, in Pakistan, and it is called Katas Raj Temple. But in ancient times it had many other names, because this was very big, complex, a kind of multi-temple. It was called Kataksh, Chas e Alam, Amrat Kunt, Satgara. They say it was created by the tears of Lord Shiva, crying for the death of his beloved wife Sati. Sati used to be as wild as him, and she decided to burn herself in the holy fire as a gesture of contempt and outrage for her father's lack of respect towards her and her beloved husband. Shiva, in fact, was not accepted by her father, since he was too wild and strange in his lifestyle. They say, other people, that this temple was named after the god Kartikeya, also called Skanda. He is also the son of Shiva, so again the connection with Shiva energy. He was the brother of Ganesha. Kartikeya was the son of Shiva, and he is also connected with mountains and caves in other temples of India. He used to fly very fast with his advanced vehicle like a peacock. The ancient epic Mahabharata says furthermore that the 5 Pandava brothers lived here for 12 years during their exile. They say here a university was built by Greeks and Al-Biruni, the great mathematician and Indologist, who first observed and then brought Indian traditions and knowledge abroad. He studied here for learning Sanskrit and ancient technologies of India. Nothing is certain about this ancient and advanced community. Only we know for sure that this was the most ancient Hinduist temple of the north of India, and that under British domain it was completely destroyed. They built a huge main road just in the middle of the temple area, dividing forever the energetic flow and connection between the temples and the sacred water, with a sacred mountain on the other side, the mountain in which yogi used to live and meditated in the caves, sharing their pure energy with the other people, bringing information and bringing energy, living energy inside the community. In this way, the energetic circuit has been cut, and the energy of this place was drastically reduced. Furthermore, in 1948, a huge flood covered with mud many parts of the temple, and especially the Buddhist stupa. But it was really a natural flood? Since this multi-temple was really important, because it was the proof that Indian civilization was able to live peacefully together, and that all the religions were strongly united, like different flowers of the same beautiful sacred field. Since this multi-temple was so really important, maybe this was not a natural disaster. As we know, nowadays, ancient Hindu temples and stupa were places in which energy was collected, stored into water, and used for evolution, knowledge, and inner growth, for reaching finally freedom, moksha. In Katas Raj, as in all the other ancient temples of India, there is a stream of water, the central element for any sacred places. Water is the element for purification, and it is the base of all rituals in all the religions. Water is a conductor of electricity, and it is able to preserve in harmony the natural electromagnetic field of the body through coherence domains. Water in this way can clean deeply our emotions, and it is connected with information, with birth and rebirth. Water is responsible of the creation of life. The lake inside the temple, called in the past Viskund. Kund means stream, Vis means stable. So the stable water, the stable stream. This lake was a permanent source of pure living water. Then, with water, there is rock. This temple is built in a specific geological area called Salt Range. It is an ancient wide mountain range with extensive deposit of salt rocks, from which even nowadays pink Himalayan salt is still removed, despite millennia of mining. There was a huge ocean here once upon a time with whales, shells, coral reefs and limescale deposits, and this place was so alive, full of life. When the ocean disappeared, it left a vein of pure crystalline salt everywhere. So in this place we have water plus a huge quantity of salt inside the rocks. That means the electrical conductivity of water is maximized in this area. Salt has also sacred geometry, creating specific square crystals. It regulates the nervous system and purifies the mind, because it selects frequencies, specific frequencies. That's why yogi used to live in these caves, where we can still see the world of the ocean shells, corals remained on the walls of the cave as a fossil. Just in front of the temple there is a big plateau made of limestone rocks, with more than 10 caves. And the 5 Pandava brothers used to live here for many years. As in all the Hindu ancient temples, in this temple there is a lingam. This lingam has been moved from its original position. Nowadays, we can see it inside a little temple called Shiva Temple. The decorations of the complex of the 7 Hindu temples dedicated to Shiva, Mahalakshmi, Hanuman, Ganesh are still bright and brilliant because they have been restored. And many of them are lost, and the walls have been repainted, sometimes in a very simple way. The ability of the painters of the past, in fact, was supreme, and they were able to create a forest of sacred geometry and beauty inside the palaces and temples. And in the upper part of the temple, we can find the huge stupa. We can use our imagination for understanding the shape, because it has been totally destroyed, but it was so huge. And then in the highest level, there are the so-called Satgara temples, in which it is possible to enter and to experience rebirth, thanks to the spiral path inside the mandir. It is a very deep experience, in which the mind will slowly lose its orientation and will release the frenetic thoughts, thanks to the spiraling movements of the stairs, allowing the initiate to center the attention and enter deeply into new ways of seeing. Katas Raj is open for Hindu pilgrimages nowadays. That means everyone can come and visit the temple and practice rituals. We can imagine today the power of this temple, because stupa and temples were huge antennas, collecting energy from the ether. Together then with the other temples, they were giving to water a huge quantity of electricity and coherence that was transferred then to people through ablutions. In our travels to Pakistan, we bring people to discover the temple of Katas Raj and to experience yoga practice inside this alive symbol of abundance and peace.